boys and girls, Mr. and Lady. Thank you all for tuning into Kinetic Aesthetic. I am your host, Jerm, and it is Victory Tuesday. Last night in a nail-biter in a game that went down to the wire, the Chicago Bears managed to outlast the Washington Commanders. It was a tough game. It was very, like I said, it was nerve-wracking. Like I said, shit went down to the wire, and I have a lot to talk about. First things first, let's talk about Caleb. I think that he looked great. There were definitely still some missed throws. There was a lot that, still to work on for Caleb, but the progress has been there. And even in this game, which I will honestly say might have been the worst one he's played aside from the Detroit game, he was good. He was good when he needed to be. He made the throws he needed to make. There were definitely some times where I feel like he would have had more. He would have had more yards and more touchdowns, honestly, if they wouldn't have, like, if motherfuckers wouldn't have dropped some shit. I'm talking about you specifically in that fourth quarter. But Caleb did what he needed to do. He looked confident. He looked like last year and this year, night and day. Even when this guy has, like I said, maybe the worst game he's had in this season and it's early, he was still leagues above and leagues better than where he was last year. So that has to be celebrated. You have to love that. The defense is the defense, One thing about the Chicago Bears, we somehow know how to get those turnovers, and the offense does need to get better overall at taking advantage of them. We got to get 6 sometimes instead of getting 3, but even that is it's improved. Ben Johnson is the coach that I think that we really need to I think niggas got to really start appreciating this man, because this is the type of coach that we did not have last year. The coaching that we were receiving from Matt Eberflus last year, we lose this game. We definitely lose that Raiders game. We don't win. Shit, we're not even in the position that we were in against the Vikings. So I just think that I'm at a point right now where I can honestly say, if we were to, it's gonna take some very, very, very serious, like, falling off a cliff. And I'm talking like I have to have fucking just only get one win. I gotta just see a lot of coaching blunders, like Eberflus style coaching blunders from last year by this man, for me to really just say that this first year has not been a complete success. These 3 wins alone have just shown a different team, a different side of this team, a different just feeling and vibe around them that I just didn't have last year at all. But yeah, no, it was just a lot of good shit that happened. And the biggest part and the biggest thing that we had to overcome, we overcame the fucking refs. We overcame the entire, feels like, NFL world just being against us last night. Shout out to Troy Aikman for just being a bitch. Like, last night, he was finding every possible opportunity to just try to shit on Caleb, who gets such an unnecessary amount of hate. And I'm honestly, at this point, I'm starting to just think that it just comes down to this whole toxic masculinity. If you're not conforming to like the way motherfuckers are supposed to be, and I say use that little term lightly, then motherfuckers are gonna find a way to just undermine everything you do. This man was 8 of 11. You got Troy Aikman over there talking about he's off tonight. He ain't looking good. So we're gonna have to overcome that going forward. We're gonna have to overcome this negative media bias that is directed towards us. But I think the Bears are in a position and have the personnel. Let me not say personnel in terms of the roster, but more so in terms of the coaching, to not let that shit distract them. It's like Caleb said, they fought, because there was a lot of different points in that game, especially going into that second half, towards the end of that third and early into the fourth, where I was saying to myself, this team can give up. This is the moment where they're going to give up. This is the moment where everything is just going to go to shit, because it's supposed to. And again, credits to them. They just never stopped fighting. Even when they needed to get the ball back in the fourth quarter, even though those offense didn't do anything with it on the next drive, they got them the ball. You know what? People can talk about and say the fumble was fluky and that's just some shit that doesn't happen any other time. I'll take it. Ball don't lie. And you know what? After all the shit that the refs were doing, taking away Rome was gonna have 6 consecutive games with a touchdown. So they took that away on some bullshit. So fuck them, fuck those refs. But that illegal formation was crap. But shout out to them. Shout out to them for overcoming it. Shout out to Rome, because even though he had his touchdown taken away, he was still out there. He was still making impressive catches when he needed to. Even on that deep ball that Caleb threw him that had 2 people on him, he went up there and almost had a chance at securing that shit. And that's just because Rome is turning into one of those guys. So again, you just love to continue to see that relationship develop between them. I got to make sure I just shout out to Theo Benedict. That was his first time starting at left tackle. We hadn't injury to Braxton Jones, and that man stepped up. He looked good. He was not perfect, that illegal formation, even though I think it was bullshit. I've done a little research and it really just, even though it was still BS because it really was a judgment call, that was something they could have called. So, you hate to see it happen, but he held it down. He had a really good PFF grade. He is doing really fucking well for an undrafted free agent. You love to see that. Ryan Poles may not be able to draft, middle rounds that well or anything like that, but when it comes to undrafted free agents, he's usually done a good thing. But going forward, I don't really have I have worries, but I'm not necessarily too concerned about much. I feel like, I mean, again, coming up we have New Orleans next week. We play them at home. I definitely think that's a game that they should be winning. You get Baltimore after that. They're coming off a bye. If you have Lamar back, I could see that game going either way. Then you've got the Giants, and I'm not sure about the order. I know we have Minnesota as well. So these are winnable games. These next three games, especially if Lamar is not there, we definitely should be able to go in there, secure a dub. But I'm still not expecting playoffs. I'm still not putting my eggs in that basket just because we're still in last place. Even after all these wins, after three straight, we're still in last place. Green Bay has that tie after what happened with the Cowboys. So there's a really good chance that this is going to be another year where at least three teams out of this division are going to end up in the playoffs. And the fourth team, whoever's in last place this year, they might not even have a losing record. So I'm just taking this one game, one day at a time when it comes to the season. Again, the biggest goal for me, if I am a Chicago Bears I want to see Caleb continue his development. I want to see him continue to look good. I want to see him continue to push and keep going forward. I want to see 4,000 yards. I want to see him in the Pro Bowl. I hate to say it, I want to see the individual shit. I want to see him really go out there and just show that the Chicago Bears have a quarterback. Again, I don't necessarily need you to win a Super Bowl this year. I don't need you to be, as a team, some change thing overnight. But for this quarterback, we need to show this is the guy. He is the guy. And I think that he is definitely on his way to doing that this year. Still a long way to go. Still a lot can happen. You still just got to keep your fingers crossed that we're able to maintain maintain relative health along everybody. I don't want to see anybody going out for the season like that. And that's all you can really hope for because the season has been unpredictable so far. There's teams that I definitely didn't think were going to be where they're at. Nobody would have expected Tampa Bay to be pretty much looking like the best team in the league, Baker playing like an MVP. It's going to be crazy. I don't know necessarily what to expect, especially for the Bears. I just know that I need them to continue to play like they're playing. If they do what they're doing these past 3 weeks, then I think we are going to be fine, not just this year, but in the long run. But that is all I've had. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, and before I go, I have to just give a shout out to Jake Moody. Like, for a guy that came in after I hadn't heard much about him other than that he was not that good in San Francisco. Shit, Caleb was talking about he didn't know him. I didn't even necessarily know who the dude was. But he came in and he did his fucking thing. He made four fucking hard kicks. I'm not gonna hold the one that was blocked against him. Yeah, it was a low one, but honestly, if somebody is blocking you, that is on the protection. That's on just those motherfuckers doing a good job of getting to you. So he did exactly what we brought him in here to do. When the game-winning kick needed to be made, he went out there and he made it. I don't necessarily buy into all this stuff about a kicking controversy. I don't know if that's necessarily where you even need to worry about your energy. My biggest issue with Cairo is that I just feel like he has a weak leg, which I feel like, especially in today's league, I'd rather you have power on your leg. Yeah, you want it to be accurate. I mean, that you need it to be accurate, but it's like you don't want a quarterback with a noodle arm. You don't want a quarterback who can't throw it at least like 50, 60 yards. And I feel like Cairo is that quarterback. So we'll see what happens with that. But other than that, I really don't think that there's too much real negatives to say after this game. DeAndre Swift had a season high. He had one of the best games I've ever seen him play as a Bear. Luther Burden was able to catch some catches. I like seeing him sprinkled in more into the offense. One last thing, and this was one that I was just hearing bits and pieces about. Prayers up for DJ Moore. Prayers up for that man. I don't know what happened. I remember seeing him on the sideline, sort of just talking to a trainer, looking like someone was bothering him. They say that he ended up getting rushed to the hospital and was staying overnight. I still have not heard an update about that as of this recording. So prayers up to him. I hope that DJ is fine. Very, very important member of the team and just one of the just good guys on the fucking team. So I just want him to be healthy and be good. But other than that, Very proud of the Bears. Very proud to be able to say that I watched that and I stuck it all the way through. Definitely some times where I was having my doubts about how that game was going to go. I never doubted the team and their talent. I really was just down if the refs were going to not just fuck us completely out of the game, but they overcame it all. So shout out to the Bears. Shout out to them for doing what they do. And shout out to all of you for tuning in and listening. That's, like I said, that's all I got to really say for real this time. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. I am your host, Jerm, and I want to say thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe on whatever platform that you're listening to me in on. And bear the fuck down. 3-2. We're going to be 4-2 after New Orleans this week. You already know what it is. Kinetic Aesthetic. I'm your boy, Jerm. We out.